Billy, you so crazy.
Yo, what's cracking? What's bracking? It's your boy, Billy, you so crazy, and we back, and we back, and we back, and we back with another one. Y'all read the title, so I already know what we're doing, man. This is 10 most unusual pets ever, all right? If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, comment down below what you want to see your boy react to next. Follow me on all my social media links are right there. If there's a request that you want me to get to a whole lot faster, I do have a Patreon link in the description, so feel free to do your thug thizzle with that if you want to. You don't have to. Again, you can leave your request in the comment section and I'll get to it all the same. Just give me some time, all right? But enough talking. Let's find out what these 10 most unusual pets ever are.
Today we're going to take a closer look at 5 of the most unusual, unique, exotic pets in the world. With all that said and done,
What the
let's
hell?
begin, shall we?
We starting off, okay.
The slow loris.
Slow loris,
The
what is
slow
that?
loris was once an exotic and little-known species. However, an interest in them grew, and large numbers of these creatures were captured and sold both legally and illegally in the pet trade.
No surprise.
Unfortunately, the high demand for these creatures meant that a very active black market soon sprung up around them. And now, as enthusiastic collectors clamor for specimens, many slow lorises find themselves living in abominable circumstances,
Wow.
as well as suffering unimaginable cruelty. If the appearance of the slow loris wasn't enough to stimulate a burgeoning interest in the species, some of their unique habits should be. Needless to say, the slow loris is pretty slow, which you might imagine makes it a prime target for prey. But actually, the slow loris has a pretty unique way of dealing with these threats. Normally, this loris moves so slowly that predators hardly notice it, but if threatened, this docile cutie will secrete a substance similar to allergens found in cat fur. This substance wouldn't be much of a deterrent on its own, but the slow loris has a trick that is both genius and a little bit disgusting. The loris will then lick the secretions, and when they combine with the loris's saliva, a brutal toxin is formed.
Ugh.
Technically, this new substance is a type of venom that the loris delivers with a vicious bite. Unfortunately, this means that many black market loris have had their fangs removed in a variety of ways. Nonetheless, this phenomenal primate kicks off our list as one of the most unusual pets in the
That's
world.
really... So
Number
you just feed
9.
them household foods?
Lion.
Who the hell got
A
a...
practice that has become increasingly common in many parts of Pakistan, and indeed has found its way overseas, is the practice
So y'all telling me that y'all got lions at the house? That's what y'all telling me? Y'all better have a ranch or something.
of keeping large cats.
Come on.
The largest of which is none other than the king of the jungle himself, the lion. One notable example of a high-profile lion owner is Humaid al-Beqaish of the United Arab Emirates. This billionaire has amassed a collection of exotic animals that is truly one of a kind, but the pride of his collection is easily his pet lioness, who is frequently seen posing within Instagram photos that get thousands upon thousands of views every day. While Humaid may be one of the most well-known examples, thousands of people have purchased lions to keep as exotic pets. Unfortunately, a lack of education means that many of these animals aren't properly kept or neglected, or probably are going to end up attacking you.
Yeah.
Number
Exactly.
8.
You're tripping.
The Serval cat. The second cat on today's list, the Serval, and if you've never heard of the
bunch of
Serval
cats
cat,
on this
don't
list.
worry, you probably aren't alone. I mean, how often do you go shopping for a $20,000 cat?
20,000?
In the wild, the Serval cat can be found stalking the African grasslands just south of the Sahara Desert, but exotic collectors all over the world are captivated by the idea of raising one.
First of all,
Due to behavioral challenges
y'all need to put a jersey on this Space Jam cat. What the? Y'all see how high this cat jumped? 20,000.
sheer expense, these stealthy carnivores are dramatically less common than lions. If you're wondering what type of challenges come with owning a serval, then you should just consider how this cat lives in the wild. While many large cats hunt by means of sheer force, the serval hunts by means of stealth. In fact, the serval is known to jump over 12 feet straight up in order to land on top of unsuspecting prey.
Wow.
Add to the fact that they are escape artists that require highly specialized enclosures, and you can see why these phenomenal felines make poor house guests. Number 7. The hippopotamus.
Bruh.
According to that one famous seasonal tune that I truly do despise, these giant 4,000-pound mammals make the perfect Christmas gift. But in reality, most people probably wouldn't want one living in their backyard.
Negative.
As a matter of fact, hippopotamuses are surprisingly willing to attack human beings, and as recently as 2014, 12 Nigerian children lost their lives in a single hippopotamus attack. Despite a long history of vicious conflicts with human beings, not all hippos are heartless man-eating giants. One of the most famous examples of a pet hippo is Jessica. Jessica's owners say that she is just as timid as any domestic dog.
So y'all really just gonna give her a sweet name like Jessica and make me feel like I shouldn't still have to worry about my life? Y'all heard about what just happened to these children. I'm supposed to just feel safe around Jessica after she possibly ate one of my children? Not my
dog or cat, and a South African couple, Tawny and Shirley,
I don't care if that joker was named
Jessica
Steve.
in early March 2000. Severe flooding had caused Jessica to be separated from her mother. Unfortunately, she was just a tiny calf at this point, and she was far too exhausted to go out on her own. Had it not been for the compassion of the Joe-birds, Jessica may have perished soon after. But with a little human assistance, Jessica survived after being hand-raised by the couple until she was grown up enough to live on her own in the open waters behind the couple's home. Unlike most on today's list, hippos aren't widely owned pets, and Jessica has actually amounted quite a bit of fame, being the subject of several documentaries and TV specials. One of Jessica's viral appearances was when a young boy announced his dream of brushing a hippo's teeth, and her owners gladly agreed, allowing the young child to fulfill his dream and allowing Jessica to flaunt her shiny chompers for the world.
Wow.
Number 6.
So I gotta be a hippo to go viral?
The
That's
reindeer.
crazy.
Caribou are also known as reindeer, and you probably
Caribou.
associate them with Santa's sleigh. But the
Caribou.
reality of day-to-day life for these creatures is much different in the wild, where they fall victim not only to natural predators, but to poachers who target them for their meat, antlers, and hides. In short, life can be pretty hard for wild reindeers, particularly young that may get separated from the herd. These reindeer are often picked off by predators, and many wind up unfortunately not surviving. However, some can end up being domesticated in rescues. One of the most famous examples of a highly domesticated reindeer is one that goes by the name of Atu. Atu was discovered in 2007 in the unforgiving Finnish wilderness. He was actually rescued by a young boy who tried everything in his power to care for him, but eventually Atu got too big for a young child with no experience handling wild animals. Unfortunately, by this point, he had been too domesticated simply to return to the wild. This is when Pia Tukkanen intervened. Pia has raised the reindeer, who lives basically like a dog ever since. Among the deer's favorite activities are watching TV and going on long walks with Pia. While Atu is an extremely domesticated example, many other people own reindeer as pets and milk producers. Number 5.
The trust that y'all be having.
Kinkajou.
The
The
Kinkajou.
is a nocturnal tree-dwelling mammal who, in their native environment, rarely move along the ground.
Kinkajou?
This adorable little creature may be a wild animal, but it can also be a quiet, docile, and playful pet. However, if you plan on owning one, you better be a night owl, because these adorable creatures would rather be awake between the hours of 7 p.m. and midnight. Left to their own devices, they will also awaken for an additional hour before dawn. The remainder of the time, this sweet slumberer would rather be sleeping, though. This definitely means that the Kinkajou is not an ideal pet for young families or those that are looking for a great deal of daytime socialization. In fact, if you force your Kinkajou to stay awake during daylight hours, they become irritable, and although they are small, a Kinkajou attack is nothing to take lightly.
Of course.
Before attacking, the Kinkajou will release a chilling scream before lunging at their victim and ruthlessly clawing and biting them. If you're in the market for a nocturnal mammal that lives for 25 years and can claw your face off, you can pick up a pet Kinkajou for the low price of just $3,500.
$3,000?
You know,
we got that. We can make that happen. I can get me a Kinkajou. I can get me a couple Kinkajous. But what I was going to say is that is an effective way. Just in case if somebody was to ever try to come at you, do the Kinkajou. Scream and claw your way out of it. That's for anybody. I done lost my place in the video. Jesus. I got to get back to the Kinkajous. There we go. Okay. I done pressed the button on my keyboard. I'm trying to protect y'all. A
Kinkajou attack is nothing to take lightly. Before attacking, the Kinkajou will release a chilling scream.
We heard that already.
$500.
There we go.
You know, I remember my dog being $45. That's a much more reasonable price. Number 4.
His dog was $45. I thought dogs were more expensive than that.
Red-eyed crocodile skink. This adorable and shy little creature would rather spend its days hiding out under leaves, burrows, or buildings.
What was the name of this crocodile? Of what? Red-eyed crocodile skink. I thought he said skank.
Red-eyed crocodile skink.
Wow.
This adorable and shy little creature would rather spend its days hiding out under leaves, burrows, or buildings. Unfortunately, due to their penchant for shelter, these creatures are often viewed as a pest in their native New Guinea, where they often find their way into homes and businesses. Throughout the rest of the world, they are often traded as exotic pets and can often be purchased for less than $200.
Them big ol' eyes, man.
Number 3.
You say 200 or 2,000?
The cockroach. The second regional pest on our list is a unique...
I've had enough of this list. I've had enough of this list. This is where you lose me right here. The cockroach. Y'all some sick people. Y'all some sick people.
One, as most people spend thousands every year trying to keep cockroaches out of their house. But some are more eager to invite them inside. But of the nearly 4,600 cockroach species in the world, only the Madagascar hissing cockroach has breached the gap to domestication. These ginormous insects average between 2 and 3 inches in length, and are one of the few insects capable of vocalization. While they aren't exactly crooning, the hissing cockroach produces its trademark sound in a rather strange way. There are a small number of other insects that produce a similar sound, but they do so by a different mechanism. The hissing cockroach does this by forcing air through specially adapted respiratory openings called spiracles. These spiracles compress the air, allowing them to emit their distinctive hiss. This is a pretty wild skill and has obviously captivated scientists for some time, but it also captivates exotic pet owners who raise them as companions.
You know what? I ain't gonna judge you.
You can actually get your hands on a breeding pair of cockroaches for just over $10 in the United States. Now it's time for the day's best pick.
The Kookaroo, or the Kinkajou, whatever the name of the thing was, 3,500. Cockroach, $10. That's because you can find these jokers anywhere it's dirty. For free. Just keep your house dirty. Y'all, matter of fact, let me not lie to y'all. I'm not finna have no cockroaches in my house. Let me not lie to y'all. I was about to say, let me keep my house dirty so that way I can collect them and, you know what I'm saying, be able to pay rent next month, because YouTube ad rates is down. I lost my job the other month, last week. It's a tough time right now. I might need to go save up some cockroaches to pay rent. I'm laughing, but I'm really scared.
My pick for today is a pet most of you would probably never let in your house, but then again, it seems to be working quite well for one couple. Number 2. Bison.
Who got a bison?
A couple in Texas named Ronnie and Sharon Bridges have adopted a rather unique pet.
And he put
it all started over in 2004 when the couple was forced to sell a large herd of buffalo in order to pay for Ronnie's medical bills. However, there was one that they couldn't bear to part with, a 3-month-old calf named Wild Thing.
3 months?
As time went on, they realized that Wild Thing was no ordinary buffalo. He would run and play in the fields but preferred to come inside at night and was remarkably well behaved in a human home. Over the years, Wild Thing kept growing, but he remained an integral part of the family. Nowadays, Wild Thing is nearly 13 and has his own room. According to the couple, they have very few issues with Wild Thing, saying, quote, he never uses the bathroom in the house, he walks right out, potties, then turns around and comes right back in the house. It amazes me because how would you potty train a buffalo, they say. The couple insists that Wild Thing has never broken anything in their home and that he is very careful moving around despite weighing nearly 2,500 pounds.
Goodness gracious.
Besides scaring the neighbors and fetching the paper, Wild Thing also serves as the best man, or maybe best bison, at Ronnie and Sharon's wedding.
I saved the best for last, but first, I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds.
The bison? I thought the cockroaches had it, but the bison story is dope.
You'll get 10 years of amazing
To have a bison that go get the paper for you? First of all, who's going to get the paper?
Number 1. Sicilian.
Sicilians?
This tough-to-pronounce little creature looks sort of like a hybrid of a worm and a platypus.
Hey, that's Slither.io. I used to play that game.
Although this creature may look like an overgrown worm, it's actually a group of limbless serpentine amphibians. Despite their specialized appearance, the Sicilian can live in a wide range of environments, from water to dry land, depending on the species. And it's not just their environments that vary widely, their appearance does as well. In fact, while many species resemble earthworms, some are actually quite colorful and much larger. Some are truly the size of a worm, but others can reach sizes up to 5 feet. What entry on today's list was your favorite? Which one do you want to...
Alright, y'all, so that was the 10 most unusual pets ever, and I will say that some of those were actually unusual. But y'all let me know which one was the most to you in the comment section. If you enjoyed this reaction, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below if you want to see me react to next. Follow me on all my social media links are right there, man. I appreciate your guys' love and support. It is your boy, BillyYouSoCrazy, and I see y'all in the next video, man. I'm out this stuff.